The world is once again on high alert due to a new virus after a few years. The name of our new enemy is the monkeypox virus.
MPOX has been reported in the Democratic Republic of the Congo for more than a decade, and the number of cases reported each year has increased steadily over that period. Last year, reported cases increased significantly, and already the number of cases reported so far this year has exceeded last year's total, with more than 14,000 cases and 524 deaths. Today, the emergency committee met and advised me that, in its view, the situation constitutes a public health emergency of international concern.
The World Health Organization has declared a state of emergency worldwide against this virus. Although this situation quickly became a trend on social media, it's not that simple. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we were all going crazy, and I don't think anyone misses those days. But according to experts and WHO announcements, we might experience those days again. Moreover, this virus is very dangerous, and I must say that there is a suspicious aspect to this virus, something that exists in our minds whether we like it or not. The debates that existed, especially during COVID-19 vaccination, are still ongoing, and we don't know what to believe and what not to believe. The first question is, why has a state of emergency been declared? What danger lies ahead of us? What is monkeypox? How does the virus spread, and is there a treatment for it? Let's get to know this virus a little better together. First, in what situations is a state of emergency usually declared? The World Health Organization may declare a state of emergency when global health is threatened. According to WHO regulations, at least 2 of the 4 set criteria must occur to declare a state of emergency. When a state of emergency is declared, 194 WHO member countries and a total of 196 countries worldwide are obligated to comply with this law, which is approved according to Article 21 of the WHO Constitution and international law. According to this law, a state of emergency can be declared in 4 situations. 1. The situation must be unusual or unexpected. 2. There must be a possibility of an epidemic and its spread on an international scale. 3. It must have a serious impact on public health. And finally, it must pose a serious risk to international travel and trade. So that's why a state of emergency has been declared for this virus. The monkeypox virus meets at least 2 of these 4 mentioned criteria. Monkeypox is a virus that was discovered in 1958. The reason for naming it monkeypox was that the virus was first discovered in laboratory monkeys. But an interesting point is that monkeys are not the natural carriers of this virus. Instead, rodents living in tropical rainforests of Africa are the natural hosts of this virus. Monkeypox, which has symptoms similar to smallpox, is a zoonotic disease, meaning a virus that is transmitted from animals to humans. The virus was first transmitted from animals to humans in 1970 in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Until a few years ago, this disease was observed only in certain areas of Africa as an endemic virus. So what has changed now that an emergency situation has been declared for it and on an international level? This virus has rapidly spread among humans, has crossed the borders of Africa, and new cases have been observed in Americas, Europe, and Asia. Globalization and increased travel has caused this virus to cross Africa's borders. Currently, this virus is known by the name monkeypox, or MPOX for short. If things go south and a pandemic is declared due to this virus, it will likely be called the MPOX 2024 pandemic, just as the COVID-19 pandemic was named. Now let's look at the symptoms of this virus. Monkeypox usually begins with flu-like symptoms such as fever, headaches, muscle aches, and fatigue, but when these symptoms start, it means the virus has already spread in the body. And then rashes appear on the skin, which gradually swell and turn into pustular lesions. These lesions typically appear on the face, hands, feet, and genital areas. It usually takes 2 to 4 weeks for the symptoms of this virus to manifest. However, in some cases, the virus may unfortunately lead to the patient's death. Monkeypox is reminiscent of smallpox, which was a highly contagious and deadly disease, as both viruses belong to the same family. If you recall, smallpox was one of the deadliest diseases in human history and caused the death of millions of people worldwide. Smallpox manifested with symptoms like high fever and pustular rashes, especially on the face and body. Unlike monkeypox, the history of smallpox dates back to thousands of years, with evidence of its existence found in various civilizations, particularly in Europe. During the Middle Ages and Renaissance, large epidemics occurred and many people in Europe contracted this disease. In 1980, smallpox was completely eradicated worldwide with a vaccination program, which is considered one of the greatest achievements of modern medicine. It is worth mentioning that this is the only infectious disease in human history that has been completely eradicated. Now let's return to the monkeypox virus. Fortunately, while this virus is related to the smallpox virus, which once caused serious fear and panic in human history, it is not as dangerous. However, it is still deadly and has caused the death of at least 524 people worldwide to date. Monkeypox is transmitted in many ways. Before the outbreak of this virus in 2022, the most common method of transmission was direct contact with infected animals. Being bitten by an infected animal, scratching the animal, contact with its faces, or producing and consuming meat and using products derived from an infected animal could transmit the virus. Previously, human-to-human transmissions was rare, but according to recent reports, the evolutionary course of this virus has changed. What is concerning about the current cases of virus transmission is that monkeypox spreads through close contact with body fluids. The virus can also spread through prolonged face-to-face contact via respiratory droplets or close physical contact such as kissing and hugging. Additionally, the virus can be transmitted through contact with clothing, bedding, and other objects that have come into contact with infectious lesions caused by the virus and body fluids. Unfortunately, there is still no definitive treatment for monkeypox, but since this virus is related to the smallpox virus, the smallpox vaccine approved by the US Food and Drug Administration (FDA) is used as the most common vaccine for monkeypox. It is believed that those who have previously received the smallpox vaccine may have partial immunity against monkeypox. However, newer generations who have not been vaccinated against smallpox may be more vulnerable to this virus. The accuracy of all these speculations will be determined by the new statements from health officials. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the WHO initially declared a global emergency for this virus, just as it is doing now. Almost a month and a half after this emergency declaration, the COVID-19 pandemic was declared and lockdowns began. We must wait and see what fate awaits monkeypox. But finally, it is worth noting that we have one trump card against this virus, being careful not to get infected in the first place. Speaking of COVID-19, I'd like you to share in the comments which of you received the COVID-19 vaccine, and those who didn't can explain why they chose not to. Friends, I hope you all stay healthy and safe. To stay updated with the latest news about this virus, subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell so you get notified as soon as a video is published. Your likes, comments, and also your criticisms and suggestions are the energy for our journey. Until the next video, I entrust you to the Almighty God and wish you good health.